Hi there, and thanks for joining me again at Timeless Wisdom. Have you ever had one of those nights where you can't sleep because you're quietly worrying about whether you might one day become a burden to the people you care about most? It's a concern that often grows with age, touching many of us as the years go by. We all hope our family and friends won't feel overwhelmed by our needs, but it's a thought that can linger. In this video, I'm sharing 7 down-to-earth lessons that have made it possible for me, at 82, to continue living independently and with peace of mind. You won't find any complicated theories here, just practical, heartfelt ideas that can help bring reassurance to both you and your loved ones. From taking care of your health and staying active, to building supportive relationships that don't create extra stress, these tips are all about empowering you to feel secure and connected. Stick around until the end, because the advice I'm about to share might just shift how you think about aging and how you approach each day. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so and tap the bell, so you'll always be up to date with our latest videos. Your encouragement and support help us keep making content that's meaningful for you. Let's dive in. Number 1, daily physical activity. One of the most important things I've done to avoid becoming a burden to anyone is staying physically active every single day. This doesn't mean running marathons or lifting heavy weights. It's about making movement a natural, non-negotiable part of life. Whether it's walking around the neighborhood, tending to a small garden, or doing simple stretches at home, every bit of motion adds up to strength and stability. When you stay active, you maintain muscle tone, joint flexibility and balance, all of which help prevent the kind of falls or injuries that can leave you depending on others for care. You don't have to be fast or powerful. What truly matters is consistency and the quiet pride that comes with knowing you're doing your part to take care of yourself. People often underestimate how much physical activity protects independence. I remember meeting a man named George, 78, who shared how he started walking just 15 minutes a day after his doctor encouraged him. Within months, his stamina improved, his mood lifted, and he felt steadier on his feet. His family noticed the change too, not just in his health, but in his spirit. He no longer needed help getting up from a chair or going up and down the steps outside his house. There's something deeply reassuring, both for ourselves and those who care about us, when we show that we're doing what we can to stay strong. And this steady effort speaks volumes. It says, "I'm not giving up on myself, and you don't have to worry about me quite so much." That kind of unspoken message is a gift, one that can ease the minds of loved ones and give you a greater sense of peace. Number 2, careful financial management. Another key wisdom that has kept me from becoming a burden is learning to handle my finances with care and foresight. It's not about having great wealth. It's about making thoughtful choices that protect both your dignity and the well-being of those around you. I've always believed that living within your means and setting aside something for unexpected moments is one of the kindest things you can do for yourself and your family. Over time, small habits like avoiding unnecessary expenses, keeping track of bills, and planning ahead for medical costs or home repairs can make a big difference. There's a deep comfort that comes from knowing you won't have to ask others for help simply because you overlook something or let spending get ahead of you. I think of someone I knew named Harold, 85, who always said that peace of mind often starts with a well-balanced checkbook. Harold wasn't a wealthy man, but he kept his life simple and his spending steady. Because of that, his children never had to worry about sudden emergencies or surprise debts. Instead, they could just enjoy time with him, knowing he had things well in hand. When we take the time to manage what we have wisely, it sends a quiet but powerful signal. I respect myself, and I respect you too. And that, more than anything, helps lighten the invisible load our loved ones might otherwise feel. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 3, early and honest asking for help. One of the wisest lessons I've learned over the years is that asking for help before small troubles grow into big ones is not a weakness. It's a strength. When you speak up early, you give your friends and family a chance to support you in simple, manageable ways, rather than having them step in during a crisis that could have been prevented. There's nothing shameful in saying, "I could use a hand with this," whether it's with lifting something heavy, understanding a confusing piece of paperwork, or even getting a second opinion on a health matter. People want to help. But what wears them down is when they're called in too late, when the problem has already grown too large and urgent. I think of a woman I once knew, Margaret, who was 81. She shared with me that for years she tried to do everything herself, thinking it was the only way to stay independent. But over time she realized that by letting people help her with small things, like changing a light bulb or carrying groceries, she actually gave them peace of mind because they knew she was safe. In doing so, she prevented those small tasks from becoming bigger hazards. The truth is, asking early keeps you safer and gives your loved ones a sense of trust and reassurance. It shows them that you're wise enough to protect yourself before danger arrives. That is a gift in itself, and it's one of the simplest ways to make sure you never feel like a burden. Number 4, staying on top of health. A choice that has served me well over the years is making my health a priority, not just when something feels wrong, but all the time. I've learned that regular checkups, routine tests, and listening carefully to what my body is telling me are some of the best ways to stay strong and avoid becoming a worry to the people I care about. By catching small issues early, I've spared my family the stress and heartache that can come when problems go unnoticed until they're serious. There's a quiet strength in being proactive about your health. It shows loved ones that you value yourself and you value their peace of mind too. I remember my neighbour, Paul, who was 79 when he started having minor dizzy spells. Instead of ignoring them, he went straight to his doctor and found out it was something easily managed with a small change in his medication. That simple visit kept him steady on his feet and independent in his daily life. What we sometimes think of as little check-ins or small efforts can actually be the very things that keep us from needing heavy care down the line. And there's a comfort in knowing you're doing your part, not just for yourself, but for everyone who loves you. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 5, keeping a simple, manageable living space. One of the most practical steps I took to avoid placing a burden on my family was to keep my home simple and easy to maintain. As the years went by, I realized that holding on to too much, whether it was furniture, knickknacks, or unnecessary household items, only made daily life harder and riskier. A cluttered space invites falls, confusion, and extra work for both yourself and anyone who might come by to lend a hand. By choosing to pare down to the things I truly need and love, I created a home that supports my independence rather than undermines it. It's amazing how much lighter life feels when you don't have to worry about dusting around 100 little objects or navigating a maze of things that no longer serve a purpose. I think of my friend Ellen, 83, who decided to downsize after realizing that her large, overfilled house was starting to overwhelm her. She moved to a smaller place that was easier to clean, easier to move around in, and easier for her children to visit without feeling they had to pitch in on chores every time they came. The relief in her voice when she talked about how free she felt was unforgettable. A manageable space is a gift to yourself, but it's also a way of quietly telling those around you, "I've got this covered. You don't need to worry." And that in itself lifts a weight off everyone's shoulders. Number 6, nurturing friendships and community ties. One of the most powerful ways I've kept myself from becoming a burden is by making sure I'm part of a community that supports and uplifts me. It's easy, as we age, to let our world get smaller and smaller, but that can leave us leaning too heavily on just one or two people, often family, for all our needs: emotional, social, and practical. By staying connected to friends, neighbours, or groups that share my interests, I've built a safety net that helps me stay balanced and supported without placing too much on any one person. These friendships and connections mean there's always someone to share a meal with, someone to call when I need a ride to an appointment, or simply someone to talk to when I'm feeling a little lonely. I think of my old pal Frank, 80, who made a point of joining a local walking group after his wife passed. That simple decision not only kept him active, but surrounded him with good people who were happy to look out for him, and who he could look out for in return. When you invest in community ties, you give yourself the gift of companionship, and you give your family the gift of knowing that you're not alone or isolated. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 7, letting go of unnecessary control. One of the quietest but most meaningful changes I made in my life was learning to let go of things that no longer served me, especially the need to control everything around me. As we get older, it's natural to want to hold on tightly to our routines, to our belongings, to the way things have always been done. But I found that the more I tried to control every detail, the more tension it created between me and the people who care about me. By softening my grip and trusting others now and then, I made room for peace and understanding. This doesn't mean giving up on what matters to you. It means recognizing the difference between what's essential and what's just habit. I think of my cousin Walter, 84, who used to insist on managing every little task around the house, even when his hands weren't as steady as they once were. When he finally let his grandson help with small repairs, something beautiful happened. Their bond grew stronger, and Walter felt less weighed down by chores he no longer enjoyed. Letting go of control, when it's wise to do so, shows great strength. It tells those around you that you trust them and that you care more about harmony than having everything done your way. And that, more than almost anything else, helps keep you from becoming a source of stress to those you love. Closing thoughts. As we come to the end of today's episode, I invite you to pause for a moment and consider the 7 practical tips we've discussed together. Was there a particular piece of advice that resonated with you? Or maybe there's something new you'd like to try as you move forward? Remember, living a life that isn't a burden to others isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about the everyday choices we make, decisions that help us stay independent, nurture our relationships, and approach each stage of life with kindness and self-respect. I truly hope today's video from Timeless Wisdom has offered encouragement and helpful ideas you can use in your own life. Don't forget, every effort you make to look after yourself is also a way of caring for those who love you. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please share in the comments something you learned or plan to put into practice. Your feedback inspires us and helps our community grow. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom, and share it with friends or family who might benefit too. Your support makes it possible for us to keep bringing you more uplifting and informative content. Thanks again for watching, and we hope to see you in our next video.